Ladies and gentlemen, the CIA is hiring and they're advertising. Now, this might have been crazy in the past, but this is where we are now. And they're particularly hiring people if they're from China, Iran, and North Korea. And I suspect maybe it's because they've gotten some good results of what they did between Russia and the Ukraine, trying to recruit people there. For me, this is fascinating, not just from a social perspective, but actually linguistically, because I saw this ad come up through Twitter and you can see all the different languages there. And just looking at the difference in each language, I can read each of these languages here. And the way they communicate the meaning is a little different between all of them. And so in this clip, I'm just going to show you the difference in the language that they use and culturally maybe why they're using that. And then I actually jump on my Tor browser and I go into the Onion link and I'll show you what people from China, Iran, or from North Korea are going to find if they actually follow the link. And what you see at the end of that link, to me, is a little surprising and I think also possibly a little dangerous. So if you use Twitter or X, you would have seen possibly this ad come up. And you can see here it says in English, securely contacting CIA. Now that's kind of weird from a grammatical perspective. In English, securely contacting CIA. I would have expected how to securely contact the CIA, but I guess they want to be brief. But let's have a look at the Chinese first. So we have here the word, I'll write it for you. So we have the word an quan. Okay, so an quan means safety, all right? An quan, that's in Mandarin. And we can see the same word here in Korean. And so in Korean, this one here is an, and then we have chon. So chon, an chon is an quan, which means safety. So that's the secure bit. And now let's have a look at the next bit of the Chinese. This word here, this is actually an interesting character. So we have the word lian. Now, in simplified, we have this. There is a traditional form of this character, lian, meaning to connect. And it goes like this. It comes down and you've got these here. And you also have another traditional version of this that actually looks like this is the normal lian. And so in Korean, I see this word here. I know from Korean, they actually have the word yon here. So I suspect that maybe this is a North Korean thing, that they still keep this r like the Chinese le. So lian, ron, but in South Korea, yon. And so lian, luo means to contact in Chinese, or lian rak, or this lian xi. So you can see Korean and Mandarin actually share many of these roots. And this is probably North Korean, that fact they're using this. Otherwise, they might have a y. So there's a thing about modern Chinese is that they try and avoid using what we call in Thai tapsak, but they're basically words directly from English or other languages straight in Chinese. So instead of saying computer, they don't say computer, they say 电脑, electric brain. And here is the same thing. They don't say CIA, they say 美国中央情报局. So 中央 is central, 情报 reporting or intelligence 局 agency. So CIA in brackets is actually 美国中央情报局. So they've written that in full there in Chinese. But you can see here in Korean, CIA, so connecting to, this is like a connecting preposition, in order to safely, 안전하게. So this is the safely, I guess, adjective, 연락, contact, 하는, the putting it into a verb. And then this word is interesting in Korean here. We have bang, which of course in Chinese is fang. And then this word in Korean here is bangbo. So even if you read Japanese, you would probably understand that too. Fang fa is method. And then in Farsi, you have tamasa. So tamasa is to contact. Aman. Aman is safe. If you speak Indonesian or any of these languages, you know aman is safe. And then this is mo. like connecting to. So it's interesting that this particle here in Farsi is actually very similar to this particle in Korean. And then we have sia. Now it's interesting, in Farsi, they don't actually say CIA. It's actually pronounced as though it was spelt as a word. So CIA is pronounced sia, sia. So this says tamam aman ba sia, how to safely connect to the CIA. And so altogether, in English, we have securely contacting CIA. In mainland Chinese, 安全联系美国中央情报局 CIA. In Farsi, we have Tamasa Aman Ba Sia. And then in North Korean, we have CIA E Anjon Hage Ryonrak Hanun Bangbo. So there are 4 different ways of saying a similar thing, but something that I guess is linguistically. So what is that way? So in each of the languages, they had a video done in that language. Now, reading through the videos, to me, I think that somebody's been putting it through ChatGPT, which raises even more questions. But it basically tells people how to use a safe browser, a VPN, use Firefox, how to download the Tor browser, and then if you're using the Tor browser, how to connect. And what do they get you to connect to? An onion URL. So if you've never used the darknet before or the Tor browser, rather than .com or .org, you have .onion. And so these onion routes are these Tor routes that are supposed to be secure. And if you go to them, they go through, that's like peeling away parts of the onion. So this part doesn't know how this part was encrypted, and it's supposed to keep you safe. And eventually they'll get to the portal that allows them to connect and communicate with the CIA to say, look, I'm interested in working. So I was very curious as to what was at the end of this. You know, what are these people in China, in Iran, in North Korea who are risking their lives going to be met with when they finally jump in? And what they were met with surprised me. And so as this is establishing the connection, and as we open it up, have a look at this. Bang. It's English. Now, could you imagine if you're in China and you're opening this? Many of these people, maybe they don't speak English, or Iran, or in North Korea, they don't speak English. And surely the CIA has people that speak these languages, and they get this page here, all in English, opening it up. I would have thought that somebody may have had the foresight to put it in those languages and have a separate link for each of them. But no, this is just a normal all-American page in English with nothing telling them how to do what. There's nothing saying this is your portal or anything. And so what's the first thing that somebody's going to do as they come into one of these sites? They're going to probably cut and paste it then and put it in an online translator. Many of them are actually ones, say in China, if you're going to be doing these are portals that are run by the government. It's, for me, absolutely insane that if the CIA really wanted to do something well, surely they would put something up in the language. Look, they're showing all the languages that they're looking for, and they need proficiency in. I'm assuming they have these people already there to do it. It just seems a little crazy that once these people risk their lives trying to contact them, and they get something that is not in the language and could lead to a security lapse where they could actually get caught. Now here, let's have a read. Your language skills count most when everything is on the line. In our rapidly changing world, as soon as I read that, I see ChatGPT, which makes me wonder, are people in the CIA just cut and pasting things out of ChatGPT straight into this? Whether your background's in cybersecurity, so they're after everyone. But again, this is in English. Any Chinese, Iranian that doesn't speak English and saw that message in their own language would probably cut and paste that straight into a translator. And if any government is worth their salt, they're probably going to be listening to stuff like that and having these things filtered. And that person's just put their life at risk. So the CIA, yeah, maybe it's an interesting initiative looking to recruit these people quite brazenly from these countries. It's highly dangerous for these people to even see the message, say on Twitter, let alone contact, and for them to not have the foresight to actually put stuff in the language when they're actually landing on these pages, I think is a little reckless. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? If you want to learn any of these languages, I saw a whole ton in the list there. We'll come to jacademy.com, or you could use my new tools at tools.crackinglanguage.com, and especially tools.crackinglanguage.com, and you get to use all of these new tools that I'm building out for you. If people from these countries are following the links out to this, I just hope that it doesn't end up badly for them, because just looking at the surface level of this and just thinking it through rationally from a cultural perspective doesn't really look that smart. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.